And those of you who can't, who should be live, who've got the lurgy, there's a few of you. There's things going around. It's that joyful time of year when we all start catching things. So if you are one of the many who's emailed me to say, I've got a thing, I hope you feel better soon. Rest up, put your feet up, get some trashy telly in you. I highly recommend RuPaul's Drag Race, just saying, for many reasons, not just because it's great. Before we crack on tonight, I know I sort of lied to you about using it last week. We may well this week get to using a bit of knee padding. If you're on carpet, you may be okay. If you know that your knees are a bit grumpy, if we get to it, I do plan these lessons. I do plan them rigorously. Look, post-its and everything. And when I run through them and it stays to time, and then I teach it and it doesn't. I mean, you know, I see, but off on a tangent. I see people in Bake Off having these episodes, you know, and you're like, do you not practice this at home? I can see how it happens because I have a plan. Anyway, you might need something to pad your knee if you're on a hard floor. So either a thin cushion or a rolled up blanket, or you can kind of roll your mat over. If you've got something handy, grab it. If you haven't, don't worry about it. As ever, as with last week, apologies in advance for any feline interruptions. She's not as gobby as she was last week. Who knows? I don't know, you can probably see it just in shot. Just there. Look at her looking all angelic so far. But as the lovely Claire pointed out, this is real life yoga. So anything could happen, folks. Buckle up. So we are going to build on some of the stuff we did last week, which is good because a couple of you mentioned last week in a good way, I think. If you didn't do last week's practice, by the way, don't worry about it. This will all come as a glorious surprise. A couple of you said to me in messages and stuff afterwards last week, oh, that was a bit hard. I think in a good way. And yes, it might have been. Or you might have found it super easy. And doing hard stuff can be good, she says in her least patronizing way ever. But part of these practices, part of this whole kind of me yoga club thinking is about finding time for ourselves. And it's about pressing the pause button on all of that external stuff. But I think, as I've said before, it's also about being able to press the pause button and connect and find stillness in the practices as well. So the good news is, if you find the practice a little bit challenging, it's an ideal opportunity. See how I'm turning that around? It's an ideal opportunity for you to work on this stuff. And actually, even if you find the practice is easy, I think there can be just as much of a tendency for your mind to wander off if you're finding it super easy than if you're finding it quite challenging. So some would say one of the first objectives of yoga, of asana, of meditation, of mindfulness, of the breathing practices, is to cultivate meditative awareness. And I quite like that as a description. Cultivating meditative awareness. Cultivate I like because it reminds me of growing, of a garden, of encouraging growth, of nurturing, of things growing from little seeds, of the job being an ongoing long one. So cultivating. Meditative reminds us that we are aiming to have a meditative experience on our mats, in as much as we are trying to get our minds to stay in one place and focus on one thing. Quite often that's our breath. That can be the flow of energy in our body, the breath, the thoughts. We keep the mind in one place. And awareness. And I mean, that's a self-explanatory word, but awareness isn't harsh focus. You know, awareness is all encompassing. It can be it can be a macro view, or it could be microscopic. It's kind of zooming in and out. So cultivating meditative awareness isn't a static phrase to me. You know, it has some movement, it has some life to it. It suggests that it's an ongoing process. And so if you find this practice, any practice, hard, tuning into the fact that you find it hard, is really valuable because you are cultivating awareness of that. And then within that practice, cultivating the ability to still find how you can slow down, how you can wait, and how you can watch is key to cultivating that awareness. So we're thinking about cultivating meditative awareness and slowing, watching, and waiting. Slowing, watching, and waiting you can do in a class that's fast or a class that's slow. I'm not a fan of fast yoga classes for many reasons. Hopefully what we do together doesn't feel too fast. If it ever does, please tell me. But that slowing, watching, and waiting, really important stuff to be able to develop whatever challenges you are finding on your mat. Because if we want to take this stuff off the mat and into life, how useful is it to be able to slow, watch, and wait in like any life scenario? We talk often about that, having that ability to respond rather than react. And that's one of the ways our practices help with that. So it's a long way of saying, if you're finding this practice or any of the practices tricky, know that that's okay, and listen to yourself. If you need to rest, rest. If you need to sit out a couple of poses, sit them out. If you need to modify, modify. You know all this. You are intelligent, very wise human beings. But recognize that the challenge can be as much of the practice as all the other stuff. And the real challenge within the challenge is finding that meditative awareness and the slowing, the watching, and the waiting. And I think it's the waiting. It's the waiting that always gets you. Because like we talked about last week, you know, we want change now. We don't want to wait for it. We want the change in the practice now. And we want our hamstrings to be longer now. We want the aches and pains to be gone now. We get a lot of that. Anywho, enough of my waffling. So slowing, watching, waiting, cultivating meditative awareness. So much easier said than done. I know. Oh, someone's bored with that already. Thanks for your support. Harry is now cultivating meditative awareness of her dinner. It's downstairs. Go and eat it. So let us get on with it. Get on with cultivating our meditative awareness. Get yourself into your favourite Shavasana shape, whether that's lying on your back or on your side, whatever you need. We arrive, we settle, we empty out before we begin to fill up. So get yourself lying down. And if lying flat on your back, for whatever reason, isn't working for you tonight or whenever you're practicing, don't force it, don't insist. If we are cultivating awareness, that includes noticing when we are forcing, when we are insisting. So just find what feels good. And then sink into it. So when you're ready, let your eyes fall gently closed. Let your feet fall apart if you're lying flat on your back. Let your palms turn up to the sky. Let the arms just rest comfortably down by your sides. And once you're settled, take a big breath in through the nose and sigh it out. Good. Do 2 more at least. Just like that. Big breaths in through the nose. Big sighs out through the mouth. And with each of those big out breaths, however many you want to do, imagine that you are perhaps letting go of something. You don't need to know what that something even is, but know that you are letting go of it as you take that big sigh out. And like I said, we are resting here to empty out before we begin. So allow yourself to arrive as you let some stillness come into the body. Find that sensation of pressing the pause button, of arriving into this time that's just for you, and just taking a moment to allow all those other bits of you to arrive here. You know, we spend our days doing different roles, doing different tasks, doing different things for different people, all those different threads of you that have been out in the world today, kind of feel like you're reeling them back in. That they are all kind of knotting back into you. And as you arrive, just begin to tune in and notice how you feel as a whole. Notice what your energy levels are like. Notice what kind of mood you're in. Remember, there's no right or wrong to any of this stuff. So allow whatever is there just to be. You don't have to like it or dislike it. Can you just accept it? Give yourself permission to be here, even if you don't think you need to. Soften your face, soften your jaw, soften your shoulders. And allow that softness to let you tune in a little more. And start by noticing your thoughts. Let's tune in to whatever pesky stuff the mind is up to. So we're just cultivating this ability to position ourselves as the interested observer of our thoughts rather than the active participant. So by now you know how to do that. You know how to position yourself in a way that you can just see the thoughts come and go without getting involved. Have a go at doing that. And as with so much of this stuff, it's totally easier said than done. And it's a practice. So notice thoughts come, notice them go. Be interested, but don't get involved with any of them. And then as you've noticed mind, let's begin to notice body. So tune in to your physical sensations. You can start that by a quick body scan, starting with awareness up at the top of the head, and then taking 30 seconds or so, allow the awareness to roll down. And again, just as you did with your thoughts, you're not trying to stop or change or control whatever you find. You're just noticing what's there. Not liking it, not disliking it, just noticing. And then as you've noticed mind, as you've noticed body, begin to notice your breath. So take the awareness to wherever you can most easily feel the rise of the inhale and the fall of your exhale. Notice cool air coming in. Notice warm air going out. And notice within that movement of your breath, the little pockets of stillness, where there is a natural pause just at the bottom of the exhale and at the top of the inhale, without any effort on your part. There is a natural pause, some natural stillness there. Begin to notice those moments. As you become more familiar with them, allow that pause to be somewhere that you can rest in just for a split second. Notice the stillness and notice how this builds your capacity to do that slowing, watching and waiting. Just by noticing the pauses between your breath, we inevitably slow, we wait and we watch. Just here in this practice, we're already building, we're already cultivating that meditative awareness. Keeping that connection to your breath, you can bring one hand onto your belly, one hand up onto your breastbone, your heart space, and take a moment and set your intention for your practice. Rather than listening to the space between your ears, you can perhaps tune into your gut, listen to your heart. Consider what is it you need the practice to do for you today. How do you want to feel as you move through the poses? What do you need? How do you want to feel when you step off the mat and go back into your day? Set your intention, but remain open-minded to the other good, positive stuff that may well come along. When you're ready, you can gently blink your eyes open. If you're a little bit stiff, bring the knees up into the chest, hug them in, have a little roll from side to side. Slowly bring some movement back into the body. Roll onto one side when you're ready, and then come up to sit. Coming up to sit cross-legged. If you're Hips are tight for whatever reason. They're tight tonight or tight always. You can have your bum up on a little cushion, on a yoga block, anything to give your knees a little bit of room to drop down. Get yourself comfortable. We're just going to start to breathe and move. So inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, just pull them down. Inhale, take them up, forwards or up to the side, either works. Exhale, pull them down. You can even do this with your eyes closed. Inhale, take them up. Exhale, bring them down. Add a little side stretch with your own breath. Bring a hand down to the side. Inhale, take it up. Exhale into the side stretch. Inhale, take both arms up. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, little side stretch. Inhale, bring it all up. Exhale, hand down. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, little stretch. Good. Inhale, both up. Exhale, one down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it over. Good. One more each side. Inhale, both up. Exhale, one down. Inhale, sit tall, lengthen both sides of the rib cage. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, other side down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side stretch the other way. Inhale, both of them up. Exhale, bring your hands down in front of you. Take your bum off the cushion if it's a little awkward. We're just going to do a super simple forward bend. Forgot the word. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, walk yourself out first. So let the chest come out. Once you've gone as far out as you can, then maybe think of going down. Very gentle little rock from side to side. Let the skin be long through the back of the neck. A couple of deep breaths here. Inhale, just walk yourself all the way back up. Just take a little twist to each way. Bring the left hand to your right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, gentle little twist around to the right. Good, then release. Swap your hands. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, gentle little twist the other way. And bring yourself back to center. Good. Swap the cross of your legs. Let's do it all the other way. Once you're settled, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, pull it down. Again, you can shut your eyes if you like. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, put it down. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, put it down, adding little side stretches. So right hand down, inhale, left arm up. Exhale to the right. Inhale, both up. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, little side stretch. Good. Twice more each side. Inhale brings you up. And then as we go through the breaths, just begin to notice, cultivating that awareness, if stuff is beginning to change. But if it's not, being prepared to wait. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it over. One more each way. Inhale, go up. Exhale, hand down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale to the side. One more time to whichever side you haven't done left yet. We're slowing. We're watching. And we're waiting. Waiting's always the hardest, I think. Hands down. Let's take it into a little forward fold. Bring the hands in front of you. Inhale, lift the chest first. Exhale, think of going out first. Once you've gone out as far as you can, then maybe you can think of going down. Again, a little bit of a rock and roll from side to side. Doesn't matter how far down you do or you don't go. You know that by now. Inhale, bring it up. Let's do a little twist each way one more time. Left hand to your right knee, right hand behind you. Lift and lengthen with the inhale first. Exhale, little twist. The head only goes as far as the head goes. Do not try and jam it round to see into last week. Back through center, inhale, lift. Exhale, twisting from the bottom to the middle to the top. And then back to center. Good. Straighten the legs out in front of you. Again, if you have particularly tight hamstrings, I highly recommend that you stay up on a block or up on a folded cushion. Again, it just gives you a little more room to play with if the hamstrings are tight. It is not a bad thing to have your bum up on a block. You may find the pose actually more effective. Draw the toes back towards you, bring the hands down by your bum cheeks. So this may already be enough for you if your hamstrings are tight. Just sitting up nice and tall may already make the hamstrings go, oh, hello. If they're already saying that to you and other things, then you just stay here and breathe. Otherwise, if you want to juice it up a little bit, lift with the inhale. And again, just go forwards and out with the exhale. Just until you can feel some stuff going on in the backs of the legs. Inhale, maybe bring it back up. Exhale, maybe take it forwards. Work with your own breath here. Lifting a little with each inhale, lowering with the exhale. And that lifting and lowering can be as big or as tiny a movement as you want. I don't want you bouncing in and out of the pose, but if you're up here, you may just sit here and breathe without moving. If you're down a little further, it may feel good to come up, find some space, and then go forwards again. Remember, we're only just starting to work with the hamstrings and backs of the legs, so be kind to them, or they will give you effective feedback tomorrow, especially when you try and get out of bed. If you've got plenty of room, you could hold the feet, you can hold the big toes. If you've got even more room, you can take a block and hold it around the feet. Push the feet into the block, gives a little more oomph to the pose. If you're like, hell no, that's fine. This is only our first hamstring warm up. Good. Bring yourself back up. Bend the right knee. Take the right foot over your left. So my right foot is now on the outside of my left thigh. My left arm comes around, holds the right leg. Right hand comes down behind you. Inhale, lift. Lift both sides of the rib cage and exhale. Again, just a little twist, drawing that right leg across. And again, the head only turns as far as the head wants to turn. Just check this right shoulder isn't hoiking up. See if you can let it drop down and away from the right ear. Good, and then come back to center. Uncross your right leg and lift it up off the floor, just for fun. Bring the foot up a little bit. Now you can hold it and sit tall with both hands. If that's quite enough for you, feel free to stay there. Or hold the right foot with your left hand, keeping the knee bent. And again, just find that twist. You can bring the right hand down behind you. Remember, we're only just warming up, so be kind to yourself. If that feels like a piece of cake, You can reach the right arm out behind you. Try and keep the shoulders down, she says, looking at herself. And then if that feels like a piece of cake, lean back a little bit. See if you can lift the left leg actively up off the floor. And then put everything down quickly before it all goes horribly wrong. Right leg out in front of you. Left foot crosses over the right thigh. Remember, twists can feel very different on each side, so just be kind to yourself. Right arm comes across the left thigh, left hand down behind you. Inhale, sit up tall, lengthen both sides of the rib cage, and then exhale, gently draw yourself around. Allow the pelvis to move just a smidgen. Try and keep the ears low. Try and keep the shoulders away from your ears. I mean, you could try and keep your ears away from your shoulders. That would hopefully have the same effect, but I'm not sure how good anyone is at lifting their ears. I mean, I'd like to see it if you can. Good, and then come back to center. Uncross the left leg. Bring the left foot up off the floor. And again, wherever you need to be, you can keep the left knee bent and just hold the foot with both hands, sitting up as tall as you can. So really switching on the back muscles and engaging your core. If you want to have a few more laughs, turn the palm down, so your thumb is down, and reach around the outside of the left foot. Maybe bring the left hand down behind you and find that twist again. Then maybe you can straighten the left leg if that feels like a fun thing to do. Maybe you lift the left hand up off the floor, keeping the twist, switching on the core, and then maybe you lift the right foot up as well. I mean, what use this is to anyone in their life, I don't know, but it's a fun thing to do. Then bring everything gently back down to the floor. Take your block out from under your bum, come onto your hands and knees in any way you can. And let's take a couple of breaths in cat and cow just to get that spine nice and mobile. We've done some twists, so let's do a bit of forward and backward flexing to even it all out. So when you're ready, the inhale, the spine dips down, heart draws forwards, gaze goes up. And the exhale, you tuck your chin, you tuck the tailbone, you arch into your cat. Inhale, you go the other way, gaze up, heart forwards. Exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone into your cat. Keep going with your own breath. Remembering we are slowing, we are watching, and if necessary, we are waiting. And if you're not sure what you're waiting for, then don't worry about it. And then once you've gone up and down a few times, you can add in a little shimmy, taking the ribs around in some circles as you arch up and dip down. Circle one way, circle the other, make it all jolly and fun. Get the neck in there as well. Make it a proper funky little cat-cow scenario going on. Good. Make sure you've got plenty of space in front of you. Once you're ready, tuck your toes, go to your first downward facing dog. If you're not quite ready for a down dog yet, find a child's pose. If you're in your down dog, give it a slow walk on the spot. Notice if you want to go on autopilot and just start doing frantic walking on the spots. How slow can you do it? How mindfully can you move? Tuning in again to what's going on in the body, whether the mind started chatting away, what's the breath doing? All fun things to be checking out in your downward facing dog. Come forwards to a plank, bring the knees down, bring the chest down with control. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, roll down. 2 more like that. Inhale, use the back body to lift you up. Don't use the hands. Exhale, roll down. One more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll down. Push back to your knees. Downward facing dog again. Good. And then bend the knees, look at the space between your hands and bring the feet into it, or as close as you can. Inhale, come halfway up and lengthen. Exhale, soft knees and dangle. Take a long pause here. Dangling, dangling, dangling. Swaying if that feels good. Inhale, halfway up and lengthen. Exhale, soft knees, have another little dangle. Move the head, move the neck. Can sway a little bit, move. You can hold the elbows or just let the arms hang. And then inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Exhale one more time. Come down and dangle. Good, then keep some softness in the knees, but a bit more effort in the legs. Push down and with an inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, pull your arms down by your sides. Good, straight into a kind of half sunny to get us to the floor. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, soft knees, fold down. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, hands to the floor. Take both feet back. Come to your downward facing dog. Take a breath. Then inhale, forwards, high plank. Exhale, knees down, chest down with control. Inhale, little cobra. Pull back with the hands, don't push down. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Good. Then from your down dog, come down to your hands and knees. And we did a little bit of this last week. So take the hands out. If you've got a block handy, you might want to have it to rest your forehead on. That can sometimes feel nicer in this pose. So I want you to try and keep your bum up over your knees. But take the hands forwards and let the forehead drop towards the floor. Depending on how open your shoulders are, you're not on a soft cushion. So put your forehead on. It can be quite uncomfortable. So just let your armpits kind of soften down towards the floor. And then try and kind of keep that pose, but just to make it a little more interesting, take the right leg out to the side and then come back down again. So just kind of softening down through the chest, through the heart space, with the right leg out to the side. And then walk the hands back in, and we can take this into a side stretch again. So left hand comes down to the floor, side of your left knee. And inhale, you can take the right arm up and take it over. You can just rest it on a shelf. You've got a shelf there. But ideally, you're just taking it up and over to get long through the right hand side. Then bring the right hand back down again. Hands under the shoulders, bring the right knee in, and then kick the right heel up towards the ceiling, and then bring it down. Without the right knee touching the floor, hug it in towards your belly button. Then flex the right foot, and again, push the right heel up towards the ceiling, and then bring the knee in towards your belly. And again, take it up. I don't want you to kind of like massive, you're not flinging the head back, you're just pushing that back of your thigh up. You're keeping the front ribs contained. Then as you bring the knee in, then you can round the back. So the back comes to neutral when you're in this bit of lifting the heel up. And then hug it in. I'm not going to lie, I've kind of lost track of how many we've done. Kind of 3 more. And then bring it in. And then 2, take it. And you want to imagine that there's like a weight on that right foot. You're pushing up towards the ceiling. Good, and then take it up. And then just for fun, see if you can reach, leave the right foot where it is, reach around and tickle it with your left hand. Bring the left hand down, hug the right knee in. 2 more like that. Take the right foot up, maybe reach around, tickle it, and then bring it in. And then again, take it up, maybe reach around and tickle it, and then bring it back down to the floor. Good, fun never ends. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog, just for a moment. Good, come back to your hands and knees. And again, puppy dog pose to begin with. So take the hands out, a giant leap out in front of you. For me, it's much nicer with my head on a pillow. You want to have the pillow in the right place so you're not jamming into the shoulders. And then let's take the left foot out to the side. So again, you're doing your puppy dog pose, but with the left foot out, just bringing a little bit of sensation in through that left inner thigh. Then bring yourself back up and kind of more hands under shoulders. So bring the left knee in without it touching the floor. And again, don't arch the back, suck the front ribs in a little bit. Flex the left foot. Think of pushing that back thigh up towards the ceiling. Then as you bring the left knee in, activate the core. Think of bringing your nose towards your knee. Then keep the front ribs sucked in. Push the back heel, the left heel up. Exhale. Bring it in. Inhale, take it up. So you're really, what I want you to be feeling is that you are, when you lift the left heel, it's not about flexibility. This bit is about strengthening hamstring and bum cheek. Bringing it in, it's about activating core. So these bits, just about bringing a bit of awareness, maybe a bit of strength building. Again, I've kind of lost count. I'm going to say 2 more. When you feel like you've done the same amount on this side as you have on the other, so you can either keep going with that, bringing it in and taking it out, or take the left foot up, find your balance, see if you can reach around and tickle the foot, and then right hand down and bring it in. Take it up, slowly, maybe reach around, tickle your foot, bring it down, take it in, 1 more, take it up, find some balance, maybe reach around, tickle it, bring it down, bring the left knee down, good. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Whoops, into that down dog. Give it a little walk on the spot if activating those hamstrings have woken them up a little bit. Then bend both knees, look at the space between your hands, bring the feet into it. Inhale, halfway up and lengthen. Exhale, soft knees, fold down. Inhale, push down through feet, push up. And then exhale, pull your arms down. Good, into some lunge sunnies. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, soft knees, fold down. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Let's add a twist. Left hand down, left knee bends. Twist to the right, reach the right arm up, spin the ribs around. Exhale, forward fold. Swap, right hand down, right knee bends. Spin the ribs to the left. Inhale, take that left arm up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands down, right foot back, right knee down. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhale, lift the chest, ease the hands back. Exhale, hands down. Step the left foot back, high plank. Knees down, chest down. Locust pose. Take the hands back, turn the palms down. Lift the legs, lift the chest, lift the arms. Exhale, come down. 2 more like that. You lift with the inhale, lift your whole back body away from the floor. And keep the chin tucked a little bit. Exhale, come all the way down. 1 more, just like that. Tuck the chin a little, lift the legs, lift the arm. Feel the strength in your back body. Hands down, push back to your knees, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Take the right foot up in the air. Bend the right knee. Roll that right hip open. Try and imagine that you're taking your right heel towards your left bum cheek. And then gently step the right foot forwards. Let the left knee come to the floor. Inhale, push down to rise up. Exhale, hands behind you. Again, just for a breath. Inhale, lift the chest. Gently push the knuckles back and down. Exhale, release, step left foot forwards. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, soft knees, fold down. Inhale, all the way up, push down to come up. Exhale, pull the arms down, straight into the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, soft knees, fold down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, left hand down, twist to the right. Good, bring the right hand down, take a little swap. Right hand down, right knee bends, twist to the left. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands down, left foot back, left knee down. Inhale, push down to rise up. Hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Again, just pause for a moment. Lift the chest, maybe take the gaze up. Exhale, hands down, right foot back, high plank, knees down, chest down. Again, 3 locusts. Lift the legs, lift the arms, tuck the chin, lift for an inhale. Exhale, come down. Again, inhale, lift it all up. Exhale, bring it down. 1 more like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come down, push back, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Enjoy your down dog. Then take the left foot up. Bend the left knee. Roll the left hip open. Try and feel like that left heel moseying down to say hello to its friend, your right bum cheek. Then step the left foot gently forwards, right knee down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands behind you. Take a moment, find the clasp of the fingers. Enjoy that feeling of openness that I don't have across the front of the shoulders, through the front of the chest. Exhale, release and step the right foot forwards. Inhale, halfway up and lengthen. Exhale, soft knees, fold down. Inhale, push down to rise up. Exhale, pull the arms down by your sides. Good. Roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, both arms up. Then bring your hands into prayer. Bring your thumbs to your breastbone, your sternum. Inhale, lift the breastbone up into the thumbs. Keep that feeling of lift in the chest as you bend your knees and send your bum to the back corner of an imaginary chair. So you're sitting right in the back of it. Lift all of your 10 toes up off the floor. Then let the toes come down. Lift both heels up. Let the heels come down. I nearly fell over them. Lift the toes up. Let the toes come down. Lift the heels up. Woo. She's just falling over. Let the heels come down. Again, inhale, toes up. Exhale, toes down. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. Once more. Inhale, toes up. Exhale, toes down. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up and lengthen. Exhale, right foot back, right knee down. Inhale, reach both arms up. And then exhale, send your right hand forwards, send your left arm back. Take a little twist here. Good. Then bring the right hand down, tuck the toes of the right back foot under, reach the left arm up, twist again. Stay here or take your left foot back, stack it on the right and take a side plank. Or you can step that left foot forwards a little bit and use it like a little tripod leg to give you a bit of extra support. Then bring the left hand down, come back to your plank. Knees down, chest down with control. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, roll down. Push back to your knees, tuck your toes, downward facing dog for a breath. Take the right foot up, bend the right knee, roll that right hip open again. Then step the right foot forwards, straighten it or as much as you can, and step the left foot in and turn the left foot out about 45 degrees, and then come up to stand. So your feet are not super far apart. They're on two parallel lines, right foot going forwards, left foot in 45 degrees. Hips both pointing towards the front. Inhale, lift your heart and push down through the feet. Then exhale, fold from the hips and take a forward fold over this front leg. Now you can let the hands rest on the shin. If you've got blocks, it's a lovely pose to have your blocks in, because you can really, just like we did on all the forward folds right at the beginning, I want you to think about chest coming forwards first and then maybe going down. And you probably don't have to go very far before you feel this through the back of your right leg. Different for everybody. Some people might not feel it at all. Other people might be having a glorious time with their forehead on their shin, thinking life is grand. Think right hip back, left hip forwards. Ideally, you want to kind of keep your lower back, your pelvis, nice and flat in this, but some of us mere mortals aren't quite there yet. So with each inhale, you're thinking making long in the spine. With each exhale, maybe you think chin to shin rather than nose to knee. Good. Make sure you're not falling to the outside of this front foot. Ground the base of your big toe. It can get a little bit wobbly. Keep that feeling of forwardsness in your chest. I'm just going to move back a little. We're going to take this into a warrior 3. So you're going to bend your right knee, take the hands forwards, a giant leap, and send the chest forwards as well. As you go forwards, your back leg can't help but become weightless, she says confidently. So lift that back leg and make it strong. Lift the back thigh, that same feeling that when we had the knee bent, we were lifting the left foot up, lift through the thigh in the same way. Then if you can, bring the hands up off the floor, maybe to chest height. Push out strongly through that left heel and through the top of your head. Keep the chest lifted. So as if you're doing locust now on one standing leg. You're lifting the chest up away from the floor. Now bend the left knee, come all the way up to stand without using your hands on the left leg. Then just for fun, take your left foot back, keep the knee bent. Without skewing your pelvis, see how close you can bring your left heel up towards your bum cheek. So you're, as if you're kind of doing, as if you're trying to squeeze that left heel right the way up into your bum cheek. This always gives me cramp in my hamstrings because my hamstrings are very weak rather. So keeping the tail tucked under, squeezing that left heel up towards the left bum cheek as much as you can. 3, 2, falling over. 1. Bring the left knee up with an inhale. Bring both arms up. Exhale, place that left foot gently down. Bring your hands back into prayer in front of your heart. Lift your sternum up into your thumbs. Take an inhale. Exhale, sit in the back of your imaginary chair again. Inhale, lift the toes. Exhale, toes down. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, toes up. Exhale, toes down. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, toes up. Exhale, toes down. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. Toes again, take them up. Take them down. Heels, take them up. Take them down. Good. Inhale, reach up to the fingertips. Exhale, soft knees all the way down. Inhale, halfway up and lengthen. Exhale, left foot back, left knee down. Inhale, reach up and grow tall. Exhale, left hand forwards, right arm back. Take a little twist. Good. Bring the left hand down, tuck the toes of the back foot under. Straighten the back leg, reach up through the right hand, take a twist here. Stay here or sneak that right foot around. Maybe it only comes halfway and gives you a bit of support in your plank, side plank, or it comes to stack on your way on the other foot. Then when you're ready, bring the right hand down to your high plank, knees down, chest down, with as little panting as possible. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Here we go again. This time the left foot comes up and roll that left hip open. So think left heel dropping towards right bum cheek. Then gently step the left foot forwards. She says, slamming hers into the ground. Step the right foot forwards a little. Turn the feet out 44. Turn the foot out 45 degrees. Not easy to say. Come up to stand, just so you can kind of settle into the pose. So, back foot turns in 45 degrees. Front foot turned out 90. Hands in prayer. Pelvis facing towards the front. You're thinking feet on parallel lines. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold out over the left leg. Think right hip, think left hip back, right hip slightly forwards. So again, you could bring your hands to rest on your left shin. Keep both feet really active, ground especially through the back foot. Or again, a lovely pose to use your blocks in, because it can really give you a sense of lengthening the spine before you start to go down. It means you can kind of spread, not all the weight is not coming down through your hands because you are using your back body to support you, but having the hands something stable to rest them on, you can kind of pull back a little bit to give you that feeling of going forwards and down. Anyway, find your own breath. Ground the base of the big toe on your left foot so that you're not rolling to the inside or outside. And find your breath. Good. Again, we're going to take this into our warrior 3. So bend the left knee, take the hands a giant leap forwards and let the chest follow. That makes your right foot sort of weightless. I'm not going to lie, it doesn't really, but it gives you a little bit of lift. Lift that back thigh up towards the ceiling, and then maybe bring the hands into prayer and lift the body as if you were doing locust on the floor. So you lift through the back body, active through the right hamstring for 2 more breaths. Then slowly bring the right knee in and up with you. And without using the hands, if it touches the floor, but so be it. Take the right heel back behind you. Make sure you're not arching the back like me. If you can, tuck the tailbone a little. Then imagine that you are squeezing, we're not imagining, squeeze that right heel up towards the right bum cheek. So often we can grab the foot and pull it in, but we want to be building some strength through these back lines today. Oh, I'm falling over. So keep it lifted as much as you can for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Then bring the right knee up. Take both arms up. And then exhale, gently place the right foot down. Bring your hands into prayer. Close your eyes for a moment with both feet firmly on the ground. Before we get into our final bit of our practice, press the pause button again. If the breath has speeded up, if you found those few bits challenging, great. If your breath has speeded up and you didn't find those bits challenging, great. But take a moment here to cultivate that meditative awareness. Can you slow down? Can you watch? Can you wait? One more breath. When you're ready, gently blink your eyes open, bring the hands back down. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, soft knees, fold down. Inhale, halfway up again. Exhale, hands down, right foot back, right knee down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale again, hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhale, push the knuckles back and down, lift the chest. See if you can let the hips come forwards a little bit. Get long through that right hip flexor. Good, release. Bring the hands down. This time, wiggle your left foot over towards the left-hand side of your mat so that both hands are inside your left foot. Turn the toes of your left foot out and let the foot just kind of rest on the outer edge of your foot. So the base of the big toe and the inside of the heel comes up away from the mat and the knee kind of rolls towards the floor a little. Inhale, lift the heart, and then exhale, bend your elbows and just allow yourself to come down a little bit towards the floor. But just as we've done with all the other poses, think about going forwards and out, and then maybe adding a little bit of down. And I really don't mind whether your chest could be flat on the floor right now. I mean, I'm jealous, but that's great. But your chest could be up here, and that's great. The person with their chest on the floor should be feeling the pose as much as the person with their chest up here. You know, there is just about as much effort. One isn't better or worse or easier or harder. It's what you're feeling in your body. So just pause here for a moment. You could add a little rock from side to side. You know, just see how it feels. And then come up a little bit, wiggle that left foot back in. Then if you've got your blocks handy, you might want to have them either side of your left foot and actually come up out of the pose just a touch. So this is where you may want a little bit of extra padding under your right knee, if it's a particularly grumpy knee. So you might stay here and, you know, life is grand, have a lovely time. Or if you want to add a little something into the strengthening and lengthening through the right foot, you're going to look over your left shoulder to look at the foot behind you. So you're not looking over the right shoulder, you're looking over the opposite shoulder towards that right foot. Then you're going to see if you can bend the knee and again, maybe just tickle the foot with your left hand. Lift the foot, maybe reach it, maybe tickle it a little bit and bring it down. And you may need to bring your upper body kind of quite high up out of the lunge to do it. And just keep trying that a few times. Lift it, tickle it, put it down. It's quite the experience, right? If once it's up, without wrestling it and grabbing it, you might be able to hold it with that left hand and pause there and get a really nice, intense quad stretch. And again, you could have your right hand as far down on the floor. I'm up on a block because it's enough for me. If you can't hold the foot without kind of lunging for it, just be happy with just practicing bringing it up, tickling it, and putting it down. I know it's horrific, but it's good for you. Take the blocks out to the side, tuck the toes of the back foot under, set the left foot back all the way down to your belly. Nice little cobra, lift with the inhale, exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Good, bend your knees, look at the space between your hands, bring the feet into it. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, soft knees, fold down. Inhale, all the way up. Last time around, exhale, all the way back down again. Come straight back down. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, hands down, left foot back, left knee down. Inhale, reach up, grow tall. Last time again, exhale, hands behind you. Get some breath across the front of the chest. See if you can let the hips just sink a little bit lower. Maybe you can lift the chest a little bit more. If you can't, don't worry about it. Good, then release the hands and let them come to the floor. Same stuff, different side. Wiggle the right foot over towards the right hand side of your mat, so both hands are on the inside. Again, hands can be on the floor or up on your blocks. Turn the toes of the right foot out about 45 degrees, and then you can just let that knee just drop out to the side a little bit. Just gives a little bit of extra interest, shall we say. So if you're already feeling stuff and you want to stay up here, feel free. Otherwise, inhale, think of lifting the chest kind of up. Then exhale, bend the elbows and think about maybe going forwards as you go down. And again, just as we did in the other poses, if you want to play with the breath here and think of kind of lifting a little with each inhale, going down with the exhale, lifting a little with the inhale, going down with the exhale. As long as you're not flinging yourself in and out of the pose or bouncing in and out of it, you know, doing those kind of big or little movements with the breath can actually feel really nice, rather than just trying to hold it for 5 sort of static breaths. Good. Wiggle the toes of the right foot back in. And again, kind of come up out of the pose a little bit. So you bring the right foot in just a touch. So you're going to have a go with the same horrible foot tickling. I shouldn't judge. You might be loving this. Me, not so much. But I'm here, I'm doing it. That's all I'm saying. Such a martyr, such a martyr. So look to your left foot. Looks quite far away, doesn't it? And you're going to try and tickle it with your right hand. I should have said the other side. If all you want to practice is taking the arm back and then bringing it, maybe that's where you start with that kind of motion. Don't worry about lifting the foot. However, if you can, maybe the foot comes up, give it a little tickle, and you bring it down. Again, pad the left knee if you need. So you bring it up. Oh, maybe you can give it a little tickle. Oh, and then bring it back. I mean, it's nice if you can coordinate it with an inhale. Exhale. I'm not sure I can because I have to swear a little bit internally whilst I do it. However, have a few goes. See what you can learn about yourself in the process. But all joking aside, you can notice if it's easier one side or another. And you can see I'm just kind of basically grabbing my heel. I wouldn't say I'm doing it deeply. Then if you can, without making it a sort of fight with yourself, you might be able to hold the foot. Pause here for a moment. Again, you can have the left hand down on the floor. Your left elbow could be down on the floor. Old tight bodies like mine, being up here is quite enough, thank you. And then if you can do without slamming your toes into the floor, oh, let it go. If you can, get the right foot back to the left. Last time, all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, push back. Downward facing dog, just a couple of breaths to even it all out. Let's do 5 breaths here. Be still. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Bend your knees. Come to sit with your legs out in front of you. And then lie down on your back. Bring yourself all the way down. Good. Let your knees are bent, feet flat on the floor. Bring the knees up into your chest and hug them in. Have a little roll from side to side. Take the knees around in some circles one way. Around in some circles the other way, give the lower back a little bit of a massage. We've been strengthening those back lines, so as you can roll around there, giving the whole back body a little bit of love is a good thing to do. If you feel ready to do so, let yourself settle into your favorite Shavasana shape. If your body feels like it needs a little bit of a twist, both ways, if it needs a stretch one way or the other, if it needs a little bit of bridge, a little baby back bend, again, now is your time to tune in to that. Listen to it, to slow, to watch, to wait, to tune in. And then when you're ready, find your Shavasana, your final relaxation pose. Let your eyes gently fall closed. Take a big breath in through the nose. A big sigh out through the mouth. And once again, just arrive into stillness. On your next exhale, allow your arms and your legs to grow heavy. On your next exhale, allow your hips and your pelvis to sink a little deeper into the mat. On your next exhale, allow your whole body to sink a little deeper into the earth. But at the same time, feel the earth rising up beneath you, supporting you fully so you can completely let go. Allow yourself to rest here for the next couple of minutes in stillness, in silence, and I will let you know when it's time to move on. stay exactly as you are. Take a moment and notice where your mind may have wandered to, and gently bring it back. Once again, notice how you feel as a whole. Notice what you are feeling, notice where you are feeling it, and if it is something good, allow it to be fully felt. Allow it to radiate up to the top of your head, down to the tips of your toes, out to the tips of your fingertips. Take one more big breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Then very gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, rotate wrists, rotate ankles, and make your way onto your side. Then when you're ready, push yourself up to a seated position. You can have one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart space, or both hands in a prayer shape, whatever works for you. Remember the intention you set back at the beginning of class. Remember how you wanted to feel and breathe life back into that intention with a big inhale. And let it go with the exhale. Allow the corners of your mouth to lift into a smile and keep that on your face for as long as you can. And namaste.